So much has been said, you guys. Since yesterday's episode, a lot has been discussed. People have gotten to the comments, so many views, so many comments. It's incredible. I'm quite stunned. Apparently, there was something I said that really got a lot of people talking about this. There's been some agreement, disagreement. It is worth discussing. I'm kind of amazed. What exactly was said that got so many people involved in the comment sections? I'm happy to say that there was some agreement, but still, I am kind of curious, and that's what we're going to talk about today, about what really got this big conversation starting about this particular issue as relates to the conversation that took place between the two presidents, one of the United States and the other of South Africa. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome back to another episode of Archie's Briefings. I'm your host, Arshel Branch. First of all, if you guys are new to subscribing, thank you so much. It helps with the algorithm. If you haven't subscribed today, hit the notification bell so that we never miss an episode. Like this video, share this video, because my goodness, it seems to be a huge part of the conversation. So without further ado, without keeping you guys waiting, let's go ahead and let's talk about what was it about yesterday's episode that got a huge conversation going. Let's go ahead and let's do that, shall we?
There is something that has been on my heart that I did want to discuss. Discipline is a huge part of being productive, being lucrative. I'm not for anything that goes against true productivity, true sovereignty of the individual. The choices that we make are what's going to be up for judgment.
All right, you guys. So as I said in the opening, there was a lot. There was just a lot of views, a lot of comments, and I was kind of stunned that I felt like an episode had to be done. And normally when I see this kind of interaction with the videos that I post, I don't really do follow-up videos, especially when they're just like politics, right? You know, for example, there was a video that I had done talking about the Pelosi Act. There was a lot of interaction, comments on that as well, but it didn't really require a follow-up video. Right. And it's not to say that I don't care enough about politics to do follow ups, but this one was really important to me simply because of what the subject matter was about. We had the South African president, Ramaphosa, I believe. Again, I don't really know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Let's hope that I am. But he comes to the United States and he turns what was supposed to just be holding himself accountable, saying, or just standing by his belief. If you believe that you should be able to take the property of white Africans from their land to the clothes on their backs, well, then stand by your position. If you want to be a communist about it, just come right out and say it. He didn't want to do that. No, instead, he tries to pretend that this isn't as bad as it seems. You saw his reaction to the video that President Trump showed, showing that, yeah, you got people from your government who are chanting death to white Africans. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what that video was showing, pulling up the receipts of all the news stories from both left media, right media, pointing out that this is something that has been happening. And I've got people in the comment section saying that they have been covering this news for 20 years. I've got white African refugees who are here because of the circumstances who are getting into my comment sections. I got people on the left who disagree with what I'm saying that I don't know what I'm talking about and I just should do my research, but that they have people that they know who are going to disagree with me, who are from that area, willing to reach out and share this information. People are sharing links with me. And again, the reason why I decided to do a follow-up video, you guys, is because it's too important. I mean, President Trump is alluding to the fact, or alluding to, I can only say allegedly, that the South African government is standing idly by while its people commit what President Trump is calling a genocide, what I'm referring to as an injustice, racial injustice at that, just off that basis of race. I mean, this is what we believe is happening from the information, from the news, from what we saw from the back and forth conversation between the presidents. Yeah, that's what this looks like. Don Lemon even confirms that this government takes the land from white Africans. I mean, when the left are saying it, why am I not supposed to believe it, right? I mean, listen, he's not denying it. Don Lemon did not deny that this is something that was happening. Now, normally I would pull up a bunch of clips for you guys just to prove my point. I'm going to pull up the comments because, again, that's what this episode is really about. The comment section as to what was discussed in yesterday's episode. So I'm going to pull that up for you guys so you can see some of these comments if you haven't already. If you're new to the channel and you didn't go through the comments, I'm going to pull some of them up because there was quite a few, and I do think it is worth addressing. So let's go ahead and let me pull up some of those comments for you guys, shall we? All right, you guys. So these are some of the comments. I'm going to go through just a couple of them just so we can get some context as to what happened with yesterday's video. Again, I'm quite stunned. I wasn't really expecting this many comments. I love every bit of it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I think if you're a YouTuber or a podcaster, you love having people get involved in the comments, whether they agree, disagree. It's not a bad thing to actually engage in the dialogue. I do appreciate when people are respectable. There have been some that were not quite respectful, and I had to call them out on it. The disrespect is interesting considering you could just say you disagree and call it a day. I mean, that's fine. But I'm going to go through some of these comments for you guys. So let me just go ahead and read a few of them. Don't pay attention to the sidebar over there. Yes, I do watch old episodes of General Hospital, and you can see that there's a comedy roast down there. I was watching Cloris Leachman yesterday. Anyhow, let's go ahead and let's read some of these comments, shall we? Okay, so we have this one right here at MacWest 1001. What pisses me off the most is that Ramaphosa changed every argument into a begging session. As Afrikaners, we do not want to use American tax dollars. Americans need their own tax dollars. We're trying to get rid of them, of course. The South African government must take responsibility and accountability for their own country. I cannot begin to tell you how much I despise this Ramaphosa and his ANC. They lie, and they don't even consider that there is anything wrong with lying. Because I said he's a fibber. Okay, he's trying to tell people that what's happening is not happening. And it's just, listen, you saw the video, Mr. President, talking about the South African president. You see the news, okay? But when you have even people on the left saying that this is what is happening, okay? Why am I supposed to believe the South African president? You have the nerve to call us cowards because we let your people here, because you are letting the violence continue. We've got a couple of other comments, you guys. Let me just see which ones, because there were some of them that were quite interesting. I have one here from at Candace Bell 9752. Activists in the streets, happily colonized in the sheets, is how I heard it explained the other day, and I laughed. Thanks for the video. I'm a South African, and the crime here is madness. No foreign companies or countries want to invest if their stuff can just be taken, and they are forced to hire based on race. We have another one where this is a person who actually disagreed with me, which again, I don't mind. It does encourage some of the conversation. This person at N Quosi Marty 8911, you have been terribly misinformed on basically everything on the issue. I live in South Africa, so I know what I'm talking about. As such, unlike you, am not getting any info from the news or people who may have agendas, etc. I'll be more than happy to put you in touch with white Afrikaners and even other white people in my community, and you can find out the truth for yourself. Even online, you can find videos of Afrikaners who have debunked this genocide lie. Even in the meeting with Trump debunked the genocide claim. On land reform policies, read the whole document. It affects everyone, white, Indian, Black Indian, colored, etc. I don't like the policy, but it doesn't target Afrikaners or whites only. Now, before I go ahead and read this whole thing, I just want to be clear here. This gentleman is making it clear that the policy doesn't just affect white Afrikaners, it affects everybody. The problem with the policy is that the government is taking your land. Like, I don't understand. Like, why do we think that it's only a problem if it goes after white people? It's like, no, it's a problem, period. Okay. I don't care your race. I don't care your religion. If the government says that we're just going to take it from you because we can, this is a communist idea. I do like my government. No, most of them are corrupt and running this country. I skipped around a bit, you guys, and running this country to the ground. But what you and Trump are perpetuating is a lie. Trump knows it's a lie. He's just playing politics to get good deals. Some Afrikaners use the lie for easy migration to the U.S. What about you? Your government is standing by while people are getting killed over property, not just the land, but possibly other things as well. Now, of course, someone had to be disrespectful, right? I don't think she's woman enough to answer you. She was quick to jump on the train, meaning the conversation period. I mean, it was news. Why not talk about the fact that our president sat down with a foreign leader to talk about the injustice? I just feel like this is something that needs to be said, right? Why not say something? She won't be woman enough to admit her error. And then I responded to this guy, please do put me in touch with some of the white Africans. Like, I'd love to have them on my podcast. Like, so me and my viewers can decide for ourselves whether we think this is true or not. Then I responded to the gentleman who said, I'm not woman enough to respond. Your disrespect is interesting. Also, if you watch the whole episode, my point is stop asking for money, which the president of South Africa did, and fix your country so people stop coming to the USA. It'd be a lot easier for us to believe that every single refugee is lying if we knew you had low crime rates, if we knew that people weren't getting their heads chopped off, if we knew that liberties and freedoms are being respected. It'd be a lot easier to say that these white Afrikaners are lying if we could say with certainty that your countries are together. But clearly they are not. And then we have another person who is South African. So they say, I am a South African, a white South African. The hated Afrikaner, in fact. This guy lives in a bubble, talking about the person who commented from the beginning. I will be happy to talk to you in detail about the subject and even take questions from your viewers. That's you guys, okay? I think it's about time someone paint the picture without agendas anytime that is convenient for you. So I intend to reach out to at Shadow Sneaker 6546 because again, you guys, I just find that this is one heck of a conversation that needed to be had. The fact of the matter is, we don't know if we can trust our media. I don't trust our government. I love President Trump. I love the agenda of America first. But I can't sit here and say that I fully just have to believe the institutions when the institutions have lied so easily. And so if we have the opportunity of speaking to people who are from this region, who can tell us what it is that they're seeing, I have people sending me links to information, trying to sift through all this. And you guys, I'm like a one-woman show here, right? I do the research, I do the editing, I record everything. Like I'm doing all this, right? It's, I have had people reach out and work with me and they are incredible. You guys are amazing. You guys are just amazing. Let me just say that. But it is fascinating to me that something like this, because President Trump is making the accusation that President Ramaphosa of South Africa is standing idly by while white Afrikaners are being killed over property. And that's not only a communist idea, it's happening because of race. It's racist, it's communist, and we stand up against these things, right? And if President Trump is giving people an opportunity to get freedom and security and justice, well, then why is this wrong? And Ramaphosa took this as an opportunity to complain about high crime rates, why he wants tax dollars of United States tax dollars to solve their country's issues. And you guys know, I said in yesterday's episode, I want these countries to get their act together so we can stop having immigration altogether. I would like for America to shut down its borders for 5 years. Let's assimilate the people who are already here, okay? Let's just make sure we can preserve English as the primary language of the country, preserve the American way, make sure that any person who is already here knows that we are a Christian country, that Judeo-Christian nonsense is a lie. We are a Christian country, okay? I want this land conquered in the name of Jesus. And anybody who's coming in here needs to respect that. And anybody who's been here needs to assimilate to that idea. So maybe we should stop with the immigration. I can't sit here and tell people who are running for their lives, don't come here, because that would make me the jerk. That would make me a horrible person. I mean, at the end of the day, they're being targeted. That's the information. That's what we're seeing. I mean, am I not supposed to believe the chanting of killing white Afrikaners? Am I supposed to not believe both sides of the media, both the left and the right, acknowledging that the stripping of land, the seizing of land is happening? I mean, am I supposed to just ignore that? And then you've got people who are from the area, the white Afrikaners who are coming here, reaching out into the comment section, saying to me, yeah, I've seen people be killed over the land. And not even just over the land, but the policy doesn't just say land, it says property, meaning they can just take the shirt off your back. I mean, it's insane. You guys, I was not prepared for all of the interaction that I got, but it was worth talking about today. Let me come out of this comments, and then we can just sum this up. This is not a long video, but I'm just going to come out of this right now, you guys. Okay, let's do that. Long story short, you guys, you saw the comments. I read some of them for you. I read you guys my responses, and some of the people who are saying that they are the white Afrikaners, people who live in South Africa, both on both sides, right? They're on opposing sides. Some are saying that they're seeing it. Others are saying that they're not seeing it. Both sides are saying to me that they've got people and information for me to look at, to share with all of you guys, so we can, sift through all the information and determine what's true, what's not true. And that's why I decided to do a follow-up video on this, because I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. This is normally, if I get all this interaction, people get in the comments, they say why they agree, they say why they don't agree, and then we move on to the next subject matter. I'm usually talking about how crazy people are with their debt. We're talking about the fact that our country is letting in refugees because of the accusation that is being made about the government of South Africa. And we have to determine whether or not we think this is true. I am a one-woman show, and you guys are amazing. You guys, you get into the comments, you share your information, and we learn together. Because if I'm wrong, then tell me that I'm wrong. Because really, I don't want to be out here telling people that this is something that's happening and it's not happening. I don't want to be a propagandist. I'm trying to get to the truth. Like, if there's anything that we could all agree here is that I'm trying to be genuine, okay? So if we think that I'm just sharing stuff that isn't true, please tell me why you think I'm wrong, but don't just say it. Prove it. Prove to me why I'm wrong. I would love to be a conspiracy theorist at this moment, okay? I would love to be a tinfoil hat wearing individual. Tell me I'm wrong, that South Africa is not killing its citizens or standing by while it's happening. Please tell me that I'm wrong. So we can say, Trump, don't let them in. Please validate it. Because if you're saying that all this is a lie, then I could tell President Trump, hey, They're lying. This is not genocide. This is not real. Stop letting the immigrants in. Okay? Share the information, because I'm definitely going to come back to this subject matter, you guys, because there are people who are in the comment section saying this is happening to them, that they've witnessed neighbors be killed, that they are out here trying to protest their government and they are afraid for their lives. And I think, again, Black Americans love the fact that South Africa is doing this because it only validates their hatred. They hate white people. They hate white people. They're racist. And it's about time someone said it. And now the story is coming to the forefront. Yeah, Blacks, you can be just as vile, just as outrageous, just as monstrous, just as disgusting as the darn oppressive ancestors that enslaved our people, under the impression that somehow Blacks can't be just as violent. Oh, no one can be just as violent. White people are just evil. And you think this is not evil? Beheading white people because they're white? That's not evil. Stealing the land because they're white people? You don't think that's evil? It's morally corrupt. Stop pretending. Sorry. If you're defending this behavior, that doesn't make you the good guy. Again, you guys get in the comment section. Let me know what you think about all of this, okay? Because it's just outrageous. It's interesting, okay? It's just fascinating. So reach out to me, get into the comments. You guys can email me as well. You can head over to the website, archiefinancialbriefings.com, where you can fill out the form, you guys. I will put the link to the website in the description box. So that way, if you do have any information, fill out the form, send me the information, okay? Send me your emails, all of it, so we can try to set up some kind of a conversation where we can have that on camera, because I want you guys to see all of it. I want to have a debate. I want to have a conversation. Tell me why I'm wrong with your proof. Tell me why this is true with your proof. Because frankly, all I have to go on is what I've seen. I mean, the nonsense of you're only going with what you see. Well, duh. So outrageous. Thank you all again for watching. God bless. Have a good night. We shall see how this story unfolds. And yeah, I look forward to having more of this conversation because I am curious. I'm very, very curious. So we shall see. God bless. Have a good night, you guys. Love you and Kepla. God bless.